Hey up. Back again? All togged up, I see. What's the occasion? Job interview, eh? Reckon you got it? Oh, you did. Oh, well done. Well chuffed for you. When'd you start? Monday, eh? Snap you up quick then. It's a responsibility, is it? Aye, thought so. Last time you come in I thought, good head on the shoulders that one. Good money? Ah, good. Pension plan, benefits? Ah, sounds like the full package. How about the hours? Oh, alright. So lots of late nights taking your work home with you? Guess that's the sacrifice you got to make though, when you're successful. Won't get in the habit of it though. Some jobs have a way of taking you over. Yeah, you having the house special? Ah, thought so. You had quite the taste for it last time you were in. There you go. Enjoy. Lad used to come in here. Called him Stingy Bill, on account of him buying a pint of coke and making it last an afternoon. Fresh out of uni were Bill, arts degree under his belt, and a right chip on his shoulder. Didn't matter the subject, he had some kind of opinion on it. More than happy to let you know as well, whether you wanted to or not. You were a bit of a pain, to be honest, a right pain. When he weren't here, he were trying to sell his paintings. With not much success really, but then again, getting a job to him were anathema. Heaven forbid an artist of his calibre do an hard day's graft. No, he were more than content to just lozzock around here all day, sipping a coke, reading or flicking through his phone. Then one day, he took me quite by surprise. Starting my own business, he says. Oh aye, I say to him, your paintings, we both know that's been going well, don't we? Nah, he says, been looking at old traditions. At that I started to phase out. Like to pull this trick, you see. Talking about something he thought would make him look a bit clever. Found an interesting article on the old practice of sin eating, he says to me. You ever heard of it? Aye, I replies. But as was his way, he proceeds to lecture me on what it was. Condescending bastard. Then he finishes up with, so, I thought maybe reviving this old practice may be quite lucrative. Still a lot of superstitious folk about. Don't be bloody daft, I says to him. It's a dead tradition. Don't reckon many have heard of it, never mind willing to pay for it. Here, you're looking a bit puzzled. You heard of it? No? Right. So, back in the day, some folk would call on a sin eater to take on the sins of a recently deceased relative. They'd give the sin eater a meal of bread and ale, which he'd eat, symbolically representing the consumption of sin. The sin eater would then say a few words, and bish bosh, done. A sin-free soul. The family would pay him for his trouble. Silver groat was traditional. Safe in the knowledge that the loved one was going to the gates of St. Peter with a clean slate, so to speak. Says a lot about Bill, really, that he'd go to such lengths to dodge work. Creative, though. Not many would revive an old folk practice on account of being bone idle. Anyway, wished him luck. I didn't really mean it. Sick of the sight of him, if truth be told. And the optics needed doing. Here, see you're empty. Having another? Barrel needs changing. Hold on. Nally! Hey, Nally! Nally! Barrel needs changing. Get your arse in gear. Customers waiting. Aye, the house special. Says that lush back in. Aye, now hurry up, he's thirsty. Don't mind Nally. He's a good lad. Won't take him 2 ticks. Ah, there you go. Maybe wait a couple of minutes. It's a bit lively. So where was I? Ah, yes. So a couple of days go by. Bill's back in, propping up bar as usual. Looking a bit down as, shock horror, his business ventures garnered like 0 interest. When his phone goes, he answers, quickly downs his coke, and orders a taxi. Blackbriar Estate, please. 10 minutes, thanks. Looks at me, smiles and says jokingly, 1 bone every minute. With that he disappears out the door. Fortnight went by before he came in again. When he did, he was much changed. Looked gaunt, shaken, no longer as confident or cocksure. He shuffles up to the bar, seats himself, and orders a double whiskey. Odd, I thought. Not his usual tipple of choice, but I made light of it. Pushing the boat out, are we? He ignores me. Downs the whiskey and orders another. Downs that, and then another. Steady on, I says to him. It's barely 12 noon. At that, he just starts sobbing uncontrollably. Now, I'm not going to lie. As soon as somebody starts blubbering, I seize up. Don't know how to react. So I says, here, belt up, lad. What's wrong with you? You come in, start shotgunning hazmat, looking like you're staring into your own coffin. What the bloody hell's wrong with you? Like I say, I'm shite with sensitivity. He looks at me. Wild look in his eye. The job. More than I bargained for. More than it were worth. He then proceeds to recount his tale. He'd been summoned to the Blackbriar Estate on a matter of great urgency, as he put it. As it transpires, Sir Algernon Blackbriar had died under strange circumstances. Circumstances the family were unwilling to divulge. From what Bill had told me, old Algie had written into his will that he weren't to be buried before being seen by a senator. That was of paramount importance. An odd last request that, considering Algernon had led a good life, by all accounts. Used his fortune to open homeless shelters, children's homes and hospices. Real philanthropist were Algernon. Now, what need would a man of such high moral fibre have for a senator? Guess we all have a few skeletons in the closet. But anyway, I digress. So Bill turns up at Blackbriar Estate, quickly gets ushered into a small side room. Algernon's lying there in a coffin. A wooden bowl full of ale and a crust of bread had been placed on his chest in preparation. According to Bill, Lady Blackbriar looked relieved to see him. I can imagine, in this day and age, finding a senator is a thankless task. Funny, isn't it, how one man's folly can be another's salvation? She placed a folded cheque into his top pocket and said, "Do what must be done." "I did it right," Bill said to me. "Observe the proper rites. I did it right." I drank the ale, ate the bread, and then gave the blessing. "I give easement and rest now to thee, dear man. Come not down the lanes or in our meadows, and for thy peace I pawn my soul. Amen. I did it right. I did it proper. I did it right." He were ushered out of there and bundled into a taxi, near as fast as it had taken him to say the blessing. On his way home he unfolded the cheque, 150k they'd given him. Not bad, for mumbling a few words over a corpse. Seemed to our Bill, all his problems were solved. Didn't last long. That night he woke in agony. His stomach cramped violently and he started to vomit. Only this weren't normal vomit. As he put it, it were like an oily black stream that seemed to slither up from within, like a midnight serpent. Had a way with words, did Bill. He weren't sure when he lost consciousness. All he could remember were the dreams. His face, when he gave account of those dreams. It'll stick with me, put it that way. I'll spare you the more fruity details, but if what he said were true, he'd been subjected to a panorama of carnal insanity. Dark rites played out before him, to which he seemed an active participant. Naked forms bled dry, their life's blood offered to some unseen thing. It emerged from the darkness, its form both angelic and infernal. It seemed to shift and change in a mandala of psychedelic flashes and colour. He described it as both wondrous and terrible. It seemed to coil round him, its form in constant flux. It whispered to him, its voice piercing his mind. That which you seek resides within lot 351. The pact is fulfilled. Enact the banishment. I know. Freaky, eh? Even more so when you consider that all the while he's telling me this, he's frantically sketching something onto a bar mat. He holds it up to me. Has a rather devilish look to it. I see it every time I close my eyes, he says. Every time. Every time I close my eyes. This is what I see. Trailed off then, sobbing into his hands, and suddenly sat bolt upright. Lot 351, enact the banishment. Lot 351, enact the banishment. Must enact the banishment. Lot 351. Then he left. Not been in since. One of the few punters he got on with told me he'd been sectioned after trying and failing to break into the Blackbriar estate. God only knows what he were up to, but when he were taken, kept saying the same thing. Lot 351, enact the banishment. Lot 351. There's a somewhat strange postscript to this story. We're on the Tinterweb the other night, doing a bit of searching, when I comes across this symbol, identical to the one he'd scrawled on the bar mat. Turned out it's from a book called The Ars Goetia. An old black magical text, an art to summon demons, purportedly written by King Solomon, you know the one, of Bible fame. So I clicks on it. Symbol in question pertained to a demon named Visago, a prince of hell apparently, traditionally invoked by practitioners of the art for aid in finding things that were lost. Sure, it's just a coincidence. Spooky though. Just bear in mind, if a job seems too good to be true, usually is. Don't end up pawning your soul. Life's too short. So you having another or you off? Fair dues. You have a nice night. Hope Monday goes well. Best of luck. Until next time, remember, if I'm not at the bar, ring the bell. I'll soon come running. Have a good one.